So we've seen the data type problem that we face, in particular here in this enemy's attack coroutine in the game manager. We have this array of enemy objects, and when we call the attack function, we always want it to call the version of attack that is in the derived classes and never in the base classes. The only time we're going to call the attack function in the base class is if we do have a genuine base class instantiated in the level and not a derived class. So usually we're going to have derived classes, so we're always going to be calling the attack method on the derived versions. Now, to achieve this behavior that is called polymorphism, we'll use virtual functions, and I'm going to switch over to the enemy class, and this is the base class. You can see here we have defined the attack method, which is what spins the cube, and this behavior applies to all objects instantiated as enemy. We want to mark this function as something that we can override in the derived classes and tweak and change and customize. And to mark the function like that, we need to use the virtual keyword. So before the return type IEnumerator, I'm going to write the keyword virtual, and that marks the function as something we can override in descendant classes. So that's a good beginning, and what we're going to do now is just jump over to the enemy class, and here we have our attack IEnumerator coroutine, and this is where our behavior varies from the base class. We need also to signify that this function here in the derived class will be overriding and completely replacing the attack version in the base class. And to do that, I can use the override keyword. So before the IEnumerator return type, I can insert the keyword override, and that signifies that this attack function now is completely overriding the attack function in the enemy base class. So I'm going to press Ctrl S on the keyboard to save those changes in MonoDevelop, and just minimize MonoDevelop here and return back to the Unity editor. You will see here that we have our three objects. The blue object is the object with the super enemy class attached to it, and the red and yellow versions still have the standard enemy script. So when we run this, we're expecting the blue cube to print hello world to the console, but the other two will continue to spin. So I'm going to press the play button on the toolbar, and I'm going to press the space bar on the keyboard, and notice that hello world is printed to the console, the red cube then spins, and then the yellow one. So now let's just stop this for the moment, and let's select the red cube and remove the enemy component from it. And I'm going to switch back to the scripts panel and drag and drop the super enemy component onto the red cube as well. So now we're going to have two cubes printing hello world instead of just one, and the yellow one will continue to spin. So let's just clear the console, press play on the toolbar, and press spacebar on the keyboard. And notice the blue cube says hello world, the red cube said hello world, but the yellow one, that continues to spin just as it did before. So there is a demonstration of virtual functions and polymorphism, and there are many different ways in which you can implement this kind of functionality. So make it your friend, and it can be a very powerful tool indeed.